Yeah, you already know how you rockin', man. SGG smoking guns on the run, you feel me? Yo, straight up, yo, watch this, man. Check this out real quick. Hold up. Homies try to violate, they know we not the one. It started with a vision, now you see what we've become. Been about that mission, not forgetting where I'm from. Only thing that's popping off is the shots and smoking guns. Validate your movement, they was not in our direction. I know time is of the essence, but we don't believe in second. Niggas deep within the team, our players becoming brethren. In community on lock like the Department of Corrections, huh? Yeah, no fear or glory. Few years in the making, it continuing the story. Only L stands for lessons, and I swear it get annoying, but it works for me now and everyone who came before me, huh? Yeah. Fake people in society, realness in the building, ain't nothing putting the INT. I've been through some stuff, failure's never been inside of me, and we've been climbing up, but still ain't close to the hypothesis. Yeah, big mission, bigger moves. You can say you about to do it, it's something you gotta prove. On the sticks or the street, don't be messing with my crew. Yeah, we talking about the game, but don't get my work confused. Homies try to violate, they know we not the one. It started with a vision, now you see what we become. Been about that mission, not forgetting where I'm from. Only thing that's popping off is a shot from smoking guns. From a trap to a lobby, everyone is getting bodied. If you rowdy, getting killed, and that's word to my boy Roddy. Like a molly getting popped, only reason cause you tried me. Like an S on my chest, I gotta keep the G's around me. And we smooth to the finish, you only thought.
All right,
Oh,
guys, how we doing? Everybody doing good tonight? Waffles, you doing good?
Oh, okay.
dude, I'm doing fantastic, man.
All right, so a lot of people are probably wondering what the title's all about, and we're gonna get to that. We definitely are. But there's some people out there that deserve some notoriety tonight. Definitely some people out there that we need to talk to. I know you guys are going to end up watching this at some point, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but it'll get to you. And then we're going to talk about those things, some things that SGG is doing, and some things that's just happened in general at SGG. So first things first, we're going to talk about the most recent situation that happened in the Xbox Call of Duty squad. And I am going to name drop him here, Reflex. Some of you guys may know him, some of you may not. But I just want to let you guys know that this is exactly why community should have a blacklist. Because not only was this guy trying to double clan inside of SGG, and he was building a server while he was in SGG, he was also serving invite links to that server while he was in SGG, and then when he got caught, because a member reported him, apparently SGG management's in the wrong. We get into a party to try to confront him, and he wants to talk about how 2- and 3-year-old kids should be put into a casket, making fun of people's cancer, making fun of special needs people. And Reflex, I just want you to know that SGG is always going to be here. And if you ever want to talk to me, then you know exactly where to find me. You backed out of that party, and you'll back out of everyone you're in with me. So I just want to throw that out there. But anyways, guys, enough with my little rant. That's enough for me. Let's talk about the situations that's happened over the last week. Waffles, with all the things going on, how does this last week make you feel about SGG? You've been here for a while. You've seen some things.
I mean, yes, it's unfortunate. I mean, like you're saying, this incident that happened with Reflex. I mean, I thought I knew the guy, and then he turns around, starts talking all these things, basically copying our server and all that. But, I mean, people have tried this stuff before, so, I mean, it doesn't really shake my confidence in SGG at all.
Okay. Finesse, I mean, I know, you know, he came to say something about this has been tried before. Finesse, you were around for the whole OGC thing, wasn't you? The obscure gaming community thing?
Yeah.
So, was you close with those guys that did that?
No, I really wasn't,
Reflect
to be
Miss
honest.
Gage gay.
Well, I mean, I just want, you know, Waffles to put a little bit of light to the subject. I know he was. Waffles, you know, with the whole OGC thing, you said this has happened before. Now that you've come to find out that they're not even anything, they're not a competitive team, they're not a clan, they're not a community, they're actually nothing. How does that make you feel about all the members that got poached and lied to and all these other things?
I mean, that makes me sad more than anything. I mean, it makes me angry against the people that were doing the poaching. I mean, like you said, I do know those people over in the squad, so it breaks my heart every time. But as far as the members that ended up joining them and whatnot, I just wish they would have came to us and asked for the facts on what was going on, because we'll lay it right out every time. The fact that they're not a community or clan or anything anymore doesn't surprise me, given the tactics that were being used. And man, I just wish I could have talked to some of those guys a little bit more. far as the
Yeah.
members.
Right. I understand that, and I hate it for those guys because they got pulled out of SGG, told that SGG was all this, that, and a bag of potato chips, and turns out that their little organization it turned out to be nothing. It's actually sad. So with that being said, you're mentioning what it was built on. Russian, what happens to things that are built on hate? Do you know?
Well, things that are built on hate, usually they just don't last long, you know? You can't keep that hate forever. You can keep it for a
Right.
little bit, but sooner or later it's just gonna disappear, just like their community did.
Yeah. The one person that's seen this the most, though, High Tech, you've been here for a while. You're going on 3 years now. Well,
Yep.
what is the most consistent thing you've seen with all these spin-off communities, so to speak?
They're always built on hate or on you know, wanting to take us down. But every single time it always fails.
Right. So the biggest thing I want people to learn from this is that SGG isn't going anywhere. Whether we have 5 members, 500 members, 5,000 members, it doesn't matter. Is that SGG is meant to be a community without gaming, supposed to teach people about leadership and make them overall just better people. And granted, some people aren't like that. Some people don't enjoy that. But we're open and honest with it. And if you talk to me, I'll tell you exactly what the vision is. And but with that being said, we're going to talk about, that's our community. But let's talk about another community for a second. And a lot of clans and communities are talking about this, and I want to give a little bit of notoriety to it. SGG obviously has an opinion. I was in XGN, or Exile Gaming Network, or the I don't know what to call it now. It's such a weird thing, Exile Syndicate. High Tech, what do you think about the whole Mr. XGN scandal that's been going on Xbox?
I think it's extremely messed up. Taking money from other people, especially other gamers. It's definitely messed up.
All right, what about you, Busta? I mean, not knowing too much about the situation, but if you don't know, refresher for all those that don't know, he's basically money laundering through Xbox gaming communities, which is crazy. But Busta, what do you think about that?
I mean, from what I've heard, it's pretty messed up. I mean,
Yeah.
taking all the money from people for donations, and then when somebody needs it, and you just say no. I mean, it's
It's a little bit heartless, don't you think?
oh, absolutely. It's not how things should be run.
What about SGG guys? Have we ever helped anybody? Have we paid for people's Nitro? Have we paid for people's Xbox Live? You guys ever heard of us doing that?
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah,
I was there
seen
when
them
you were
do that.
offering Spyro.
Yeah. So for what Dippy's talking about there, literally a guy was stuck in a different city for the holidays, and I was actually offering money out of my own pocket to help him get back home. So if people are wondering what a community is actually supposed to be and how the leadership is supposed to be, that's how it's supposed to be. Now, granted, me and these other clans that are going after Mr. XGN don't always agree, but I will agree with them here. Is that Mr. XGN turned what I joined 9 years ago into some weird fucking Ponzi scheme that I can't even begin to understand. It's supposed to be about the members first. You're supposed to be transparent with your members. Your members should know what you're doing. Shouldn't be any black smoke and mirrors. And with my members here, they'll tell you that they ask for something from APO, then I
Remember
provide
the
it.
good ones you lost, not the bad ones.
Yeah, that's a good point there. The good ones we lost. I would consider the good ones we lost there to not be very good if they left in general. What do you guys think, Dippy, Busta, Waffles?
That depends on, like, say if there was someone that I brought into SGG and I didn't do my job properly, I'd say that fell back on me to a certain extent.
That's one way to look at it. Busta, what do you think?
I mean, as far as them just basically fucking off and going away.
Yeah.
I mean, there are times when personal issues arise and you don't have the time, but just dipping out to go to one of these other, war clans. What are you doing?
Right. And it's funny that Busta mentioned that because that's typically the biggest thing is that, okay, High Tech, okay, Waffles, Finesse, I don't have time for SGG anymore, but I'm going to go join this other, organization and, do a lot of things for them. It's because SGG doesn't give you anything and that everything is earned. You go to XGN or KSI and you say, oh, you've been in a community before? Okay, here's a commander rank or brigadier general, whatever they want to call it. And the same thing with these communities. I like to spin off and poach. They're like, oh, we'll let you be co-owner over here.
That's
Guys,
a
when I
fact.
whenever I refounded SGG, I tried giving out ranks. It didn't work. Actually, within the first 7 days of me doing that, they tried to vote me out, and I was the one bringing them all in, which is kind of crazy. But I do want to point out some crazy things that are going on about saying what SGG
SGG
does
is
and
the
doesn't
one
do.
and only. I'm never gonna go to one of those communities.
Thank you, Mr. Robot.
We appreciate that, Google Speak. But we want to talk about the biggest things that people say about SGG. And one of them was actually left on the last YouTube video. We deleted the comment because it's, we asked for 3 days for proof of it and they didn't provide anything. But have you guys ever heard of us DDoSing or pulling IPs or hazing ex-returning members? Has anybody ever heard of that?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
No, I've never heard of that from y'all, nor of any of the members that I've ever been with.
And even with most returning members, don't we get like squad management, like the people that run the squad? Don't we get you guys involved and say, "Hey, this person's gonna be coming back to your squad. What do
LOL.
you think?"
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Anybody coming back is going to be talking to squad leadership, and I mean, we'd be aware of all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of crazy to think that we're hazing. I mean, I would consider hazing like putting them in the trash can. Like, I mean, they're talking about like swirlies like from high school. I don't know really how we would haze
SGG,
somebody.
SGG, SGG, SGG.
And like you said, I mean, that's our brand. I mean, I want everybody to be a part of it. If they choose to leave or whatnot, I'm gonna do everything in my power to, utilize the resources of the community and just, try to bring them back if they want to. But if they don't want to be a part of the brand, it's fine too.
Yeah, and some of the biggest things that have been said over this past week, and like I said, when these people leave, they don't just leave on quiet terms. They just go quietly for the most part. They always try to go out with a bang. They say things about, like I said a minute ago, putting 2 and 3 year olds in coffins, saying that we DDoS and all those things. Guys, I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, is that we don't DDoS. We don't allow it at all. Matter of fact, if it's heard of, we immediately remove them. Now, the biggest thing that people would say, well, you guys are in those kind of servers. Well, we're in those servers because they buy protection from DDoSing. And we do that. We do have protection from DDoSing, obviously, as most people should. It's the 21st century. But the biggest thing I want people to understand is that if we did that kind of thing, then we would lose all the integrity that I've ever said we had immediately. And the funny thing is that all these people that are leaving the community say these things, but if you talk to the people that have been here for a while, like I said, if Hightech thought that SGG was trash, he would have left years ago. If Dippy thought it was trash, he wouldn't be here for as long as he has. And the same thing with Waffles, and the same thing with many other members we've had. And I just want to put, a little bit more on that it's kind of like the icing on the cake, that if you guys were, had so much facts, then bring them to the table. Because every time SGG management gets involved, you guys want to run. And then you want to run to all these other people, say, oh, SGG is harassing us. That's after you spammed us and invited our members and things like that, that we're like, okay, let's just go ahead and get it, nip this in the bud. And to me, it's kind of redundant. I don't see why we do it. We tell you guys about the spin-off clans, how it doesn't last, how much work it takes to, make a community run right. And people are like, well, we're going to go make this community without CDAs, without mandatory events. And you can do that. There's many clans out there, many communities that do that. And that's their thing. We had these things, and you were brought in knowing that we had these things. It's not like it's something we just threw at you after you joined. So with that being said, does anybody else have anything to say about the people that's left this last week? Anything you want to say about some of the comments they may have made?
Yeah, I got something.
Go ahead, Roshan.
How small can their testicles be to say these horrible things? And then whenever we do something like, I've heard it multiple times. I've heard it from basically everybody, including higher ups, that we will invite them to the party to try to talk, and then they run away. Yet every other time they're gonna go ahead and be like, "Oh yeah, they're so evil," and here, let me harass this person real fast. Like, you've gotta be kidding me. Grow a pair and talk to us. That's all I gotta say.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What about you? Tell them that you're kind of a new guy here, Jamelt. I
Yeah.
keep massacring your name here.
It's alright.
What do you think about all the things? I mean, you're a brand new member. Obviously, there's a little bit of drama going in. I know that here we are being transparent. You're in the middle of a podcast and we're talking about it. What does it make
How
you feel
many
about our
people
community?
leave? I didn't hear about this.
So, this is the first community that I've ever been a part of. So I really didn't have any expectations coming into it. Being part of it, so basically this far in, I realized how much of a, not really a
I have a
family- or,
question.
excuse me.
If you leave CDA like 10 minutes early, does that still count as a CDA?
Okay. So
No, that does not.
it's more, yeah. So it's not only just about a community. Like you said before, it's like a family. And when you could go back on your family and say those hurtful things, and then not have the decency to talk to us about it so we can handle it, it's just,
Yes.
it blows my mind.
Right.
So that's kind of, I don't understand how you could say those hurtful things when we're supposed to be
I
a
need
family.
another
You know what I mean?
invite, Buna.
The chat's making me laugh, but
Yeah.
What's up?
but
This
yeah,
is Slug.
I get what you're saying too, Mel. It makes a lot of sense. You speaking like you've been here for years, and you've only been here for about a week. And that's another thing, guys. Is we even though he's a brand new member of the community, pretty much, we're letting him be a part of this. We're not just bringing in only the upper tier leadership and things like that. There's people from sergeants all the way from members, all the way up to like I said, high tech, who runs the Xbox side. But the biggest thing I want to talk about, too, Mel, is what is it like that you've been a part of it? You came to CDAs. Is this something you would want to bring people into?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's the whole way that it's organized. I think more people should do because it's very well put together. The method behind it, getting everyone involved, is what it's about. It's what a community is about. You know, if you're not going to be involved, there's no point to be in a community.
Right.
Oh,
Makes a
then
lot of
it's just,
sense.
then it's just like me and Apo patting ourselves on the back all night. Not
Well-
giving credit, not getting other people involved.
Man, I joined
Right.
and I couldn't even process with all your servers XD.
That comment made zero sense, but all right. But the other thing, Bus, I'm gonna let you talk about this one. Is you've been probably through. I think it's happened one time in Rapture for you guys since you've been here. Like the whole people leaving and taking people and that whole thing. Bus, since you've been here.
Yeah, Rapture and happened in Hades. Yeah,
So,
I think it's just those two squads.
Okay. But you've been here, and what's your biggest thing? Why have you not just left SGG and went to go join one of those other clans or communities try to poach you?
In a word,
I tried
I'd say
talking.
loyalty.
Where did it get me? Is a often quote. I'm out.
All right.
Hey, get out of here, Google Speak.
Yeah, in a word, I'd say loyalty. Just how I was introduced to the community initially, and
You have over
this is
30
not
rooms.
my first community.
Someone made a joke about your girl and you kicked them out instantly.
Jesus.
You know what's funny about that, guys, is that you guys would have just heard me that I don't have a girlfriend. So how can I kick someone out for making fun of my girl?
I'm timing some of these people out.
But anyway, this is not my first community. I had a lot of fun with my last one, and I was, I guess, pretty old school at this point. I was in that community for Modern Warfare 2 through Black Ops 2. And some of these guys that we're having problems with, we used to mop the floor with in those games. So if you're watching, what's up? Suck it. I'm still better.
God damn.
I know who he's talking about.
But yeah, the way
Don't
I was
need to name
introduced to
names.
the community. No, I'm not going. I'm not gonna name drop right here. But the way I was introduced to the community and brought in, it was all very well done, and a lot of people took me under their wing when I first came in and showed me what SGG was about, and I agree with it, and I'm about it now. So.
Right, I got you. You know what's funny?
How can I
is some of
join
these people
SGG?
The funny part here, Bus, is that some of these guys that we're talking about here are now shooting me DMs on Xbox, as if we're gonna
Why
bring
are
them
so
in
many
after
messages deleted? Why you
so many
deleting
messages
messages?
Because they're saying dumb
because
stuff.
because you guys are spamming chat. Exactly.
Oppo isn't gay though.
See, but anyways, the biggest thing I want to know is that when we invite you guys any other
Oppo,
time,
isn't
we
it
even ask
spelled
you whenever you get.
apotheosis? Not
It
apathesis?
is. It
Just a
is.
question.
You're absolutely correct.
Not
You're
trying to
absolutely
be
right.
rude. Love ya, David.
You're right.
Repo.
I mean,
Fuck
there
that
we go.
Google speak, dude.
But yes, it's actually supposed to be apotheosis, but I thought that sounded stupid, so I made it apotheosis. You're right. But if my members want to hate on me for that, then fantastic. They can roast me alive. The bigger thing I want
Let's
to talk
talk
about
about
with that,
Aries.
with all these people, we can talk about Aries. That's fantastic. But the biggest thing is that no one wants to actually talk about is that you guys
Oppo
don't
no
say shit
Flaco.
about the community while you're in it. Yep, you're right. I don't flake. Anyway, so you don't want to talk about anything while you're in the community. You don't want to say, hey, can we fix this? Can we do this better? But because we ask staff all the time, we ask them, hey, members, anybody, can we do anything better? Is there anything we can improve on? Blah, blah, blah. There's suggestion boxes, all kinds of things. But you wait till you're outside the
2012
community.
Microsoft Anna.
You're absolutely right. Anything else, the spam in the chat at this point, but regardless, is that they don't want to say anything while they're in the community. They don't want to give their feedback while they're in the community. They want to wait until they have a whole hate train behind them to then say something. Now you have a voice. When you had a voice the entire time, you just didn't want to say anything. Does that make sense to anyone else? Or is that just me? It blows my mind.
That makes sense.
It's easy to say something when you have no responsibility in the matter. Then you can just say whatever you want.
Yeah. But even when, Waffles, you've dealt with difficult
Is
people
there
since you've
going
been
to
in the
be a
community.
super team
Even,
Tage?
even
Like Super COD Banger Tage?
That was nods, by the way.
the bigger thing I want to talk about is, like I said, does it make sense to you guys, like how they don't say shit to us when they're in SGG,
Was
but
that a
when
joke?
they get out of it, they have so much to say about it. Like, for example, we DDoS and we haze returning members. They want to post that on all over social media, but they didn't want to say anything whenever they
Bang
were
bang
in
bada
SGG.
boomer.
That makes all kinds of sense.
How so, Buster? Educate me.
Because
I'm curious.
They're spineless cucks.
So, very, very succinct. But it is odd that someone would have so much to say about SGG, false info at that, but while they're in the community, 9 times out of 10, they're not doing anything, participate in CDAs and whatnot half the time.
Yeah. And then when we start calling people out, and then the most recent one was actually given a strike. All it was about a strike. And they left the community, and then 20 other people thought it'd be a good idea to go behind them. And we told the owner of the server, hey, we don't want anybody, we're not talking shit about you guys in our server or anything like that, so how about you guys stop doing it in yours? And then when they made that announcement in their server, oh, we're not talking shit about SGG anymore, I'm out. 3 people left the server 5 minutes after that announcement was made. Isn't that crazy? How if the hate stops, they don't want to be a part of it? Does anyone else think that's this odd? That strikes me as odd.
It seems a little strange.
An SGG.
Just peculiar.
Some
I mean,
people
3
get
people
hard
left
to
or
that
so.
kind of shit.
As soon as the announcement goes up, sounds like some people had some
Got my first recruit today,
murder
beaming
accounts or
face with
whatnot,
smiling
and their
eyes.
only purpose was to just, find an outlet for their hatred. I mean, if it wants to be us, sure. We're never going down.
Oppo don't
so
play
try to
games
hate on
face
that.
with tears of joy.
The other thing I want High Tech to talk about. High Tech, how does it make you feel? Because you're always the brute force of their jokes. Like, they're always the end of it. For example, High Tech DDoSes. High Tech is a piece of shit.
Mio
and I
will
don't care if
always
we
whoop
get
Oppo's butt.
demonetized.
Oppo
He
is
definitely won't. He gets mad at 1v1s all the time. Don't cap. But anyways, so how does that make you feel, High Tech, that they say all these things about you specifically?
I mean, people have said so many things about me, in the past. Uh, I don't really, it doesn't phase me at this point because people have said so many things about me. And I've changed my name so many times because of the different things that they've said about me, specifically with those names and whatnot. So at this point, it's humor at this point. It's laughable.
So you're saying that because you had a gamer tag that they were saying things about you?
Yeah, my name was SG Anonymous, and they thought that I was a hacker and all of that and whatnot.
Did that stop whenever you changed your name? Did all the accusations stop?
It actually did, which is what's crazy.
Who's the one that told you to change your name just to see if that would happen?
It was actually you.
So I want Russian and all the newer guys, Busta, Dippy, listen to that. So his name used to be SGG Anonymous, and all these other communities and clans called him a hacker and a DDoSer, knowing our code of conduct that we don't allow it. And